Los Angeles real estate. Are there any affordable homes left? I mean, anybody want to guess how much this 2-bedroom, 1-bath house sold for? Yes, this dingy little thing hiding behind the bushes. I'll give you 3 seconds to come up with your answer. If you guessed $915,000, you are 100% wrong. This property sold for $1,915,000. The property is located in Venice Beach, where the median price for a single family house is around $2 million. So, are there any affordable homes left in Los Angeles? No. But here's a list of the top 3 somewhat affordable neighborhoods in Los Angeles. And before anything, here's a shameless interruption to remind you that if you like this video, it would mean a lot if you click like, share, or subscribe. So what criteria did I use to arrive at these 3 neighborhoods? One, these are definitely not the most affordable neighborhoods in Los Angeles. These represent more of a middle ground, the best bang for your buck. These are up and coming neighborhoods. 2, I consider location, which, to be honest, I'm being very biased here. I live on the west side of Los Angeles, so all 3 of these neighborhoods are as close as you can get to the west side, to the beaches, without the expensive price tag. But aside from my personal bias, there's some value here. I mean, you can always go east in Los Angeles, but you can only go so far west before drowning in the blues of the Pacific Ocean or the greens of the paper you need to drop on a beachfront property. And see, for the past couple of years, there's been this wave coming from the west, pushing property values up as it heads east. People no longer fit on the west side. And in my opinion, it's a matter of time before this wave consumes these 3 neighborhoods and they start popping out $2 million shacks. But independent of the wave, these neighborhoods are just very well situated. I mean, they're close to everything, major points of interest, minutes from Santa Monica, Venice Beach, downtown LA, LAX airport, and much more. And worth noting, because of their location, these neighborhoods boast some of the best microclimates in Los Angeles. I mean, when the beaches are overcast and asphalt is melting in downtown and the valley, these 3 neighborhoods are playing it cool with light breezes and soothing sunshine. Now, another factor that I considered is historical growth. How much have these neighborhoods gone up in value relative to the general market in the past 10 years? But that being said, let's jump into the list. And number 1, Hawthorne, California. Hawthorne is a city within the county of Los Angeles. The median price is around $741,000 with a low of $480,000 and a high of $1.3 million. Now, on the growth side, Hawthorne hasn't necessarily seen property values skyrocket compared to the general market. For example, in the past 10 years, properties under $1.3 million in Los Angeles County have gone up by 103%. Hawthorne just slightly above that at 105%. But that's mainly because Hawthorne has historically been a relatively stable and desirable neighborhood. Unlike the other 2 neighborhoods, Hawthorne generally has really good public schools, which is what has attracted many families for many years and kept prices relatively stable. Now, as far as the most desirable areas of Hawthorne, you're typically going to find them on the west side along the 405 freeway, including the areas of Holly Glen, the unincorporated section of Del Air, which is technically not Hawthorne, and the Ramona tract. Now, prices here vary between $600,000 and $1.3 million. Now, another nice pocket, more affordable, is the Bodger Park area on the southeast side of Hawthorne between Marine Avenue and Rosecrans Avenue. Properties here are between $590,000 and $800,000. Now, some noteworthy things about Hawthorne. One, Elon Musk really seems to like this city. I mean, Hawthorne is the site of a Tesla Motors design center, and 2 other Elon Musk companies have their headquarters in Hawthorne, including SpaceX and the Boring Company. Hawthorne also has its own municipal airport, and it's considered the hometown of the musical band, the Beach Boys. Number 2, Park Mesa Heights. Now, Park Mesa Heights is a community within the city of Los Angeles. The median price here is around $750,000 with a low of $450,000 and a high of $1.2 million. Now, on the growth side, while Los Angeles County went up in value by 103% in the past 10 years, this neighborhood has gone up by a whopping 214%, so way ahead of the general market. And unlike the neighborhood to follow, Park Mesa Heights doesn't necessarily have major construction projects pushing property values up. This neighborhood is just very well situated. I mean, you're right smack in the middle of the beaches and downtown Los Angeles. It's also grabbing a lot of its value from its proximity to its well-established neighbors slightly to the west, including the neighborhoods of Windsor Hills, View Park, and Ladera Heights, where the median price is closer to about $1.4 million. Now, Park Mesa Heights also just has very appealing streets and houses that, in my opinion, have gone underappreciated for many years. In my opinion, I think the neighborhood is just simply returning back to its originally planned status. Now, as far as the most desirable parts, at least one of my favorite parts is on the west side, closest to La Brea Avenue. Here you'll find these big, beautiful architectural homes on rolling hills and windy residential streets. Now, obviously, this is the more expensive side, hovering around $1 million, but still cheaper than many condominiums just a few minutes to the west. Now, if you go slightly east in Park Mesa Heights, east of Alviso Avenue, you'll find another nice little pocket, more affordable, yet still very charming houses, hovering around $650,000. The general rule of thumb here is that the further you go east, the more affordable things get. And finally, number 3, Inglewood, California, my hometown. Ah, how much you have changed from the sounds of drive-by shootings to the barkings of Cocker Spaniels. Inglewood is a city in the county of Los Angeles with a median price of about $761,000 with a low of $450,000 and a high of $1.3 million. Now, on the growth side, while LA County went up in value by 103% in the past 10 years, Inglewood has gone up by 178%, so way ahead of the general market. See, Inglewood is changing a lot. I mean, there's a construction project on almost every block. Luxury apartments are being built in downtown Inglewood. A new high-end residential community is under construction at Grace Park. And of course, there is the $5 billion stadium and entertainment project. So there's a lot of good stuff going on in Inglewood. And you know, a lot of people have said like, oh my God, the stadium is changing Inglewood. But having been raised in Inglewood, I think it's more that the stadium saw what the residents had known for years. Inglewood has an awesome location. I mean, everything is within arm's reach when you live in Inglewood. The tranquility of the South Bay beaches, you got it. The craziness of the West Side beaches, you got it. The LAX airport, you can practically walk there. Now, as far as the most desirable parts of Inglewood, there's a lot of good pockets. Inglewood is a big city, but to name the few, at least to start with the most expensive one, that's going to be on the northwest side of Inglewood, north of Centinela, west of La Brea. Here you'll find wide streets and nice mid-sized homes. Prices here will vary between $750,000 and $1.3 million. Now, a hot up-and-coming pocket is on the north side, east of La Brea Avenue, north of Hyde Park. These are typically going to be smaller, but very charming homes. Prices here vary between $650,000 and $950,000. There's also a nice 2-mile strip running along the east border of Inglewood, along Crenshaw. In its heydays, you can tell that some of the pockets in this area is where some of the wealthier or more affluent residents of Inglewood lived. Some of these houses are bigger, the lots are bigger, the streets are wider. Prices here vary between $600,000 and $950,000. So there we go. No more affordable neighborhoods in Los Angeles, but there we have a list of the top 3 somewhat affordable neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Definitely neighborhoods to consider. These are up and coming neighborhoods that are changing a lot. If you're looking to invest or maybe buy into an area that's affordable but growing, these are definitely neighborhoods to consider. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with these neighborhoods? Do you disagree? Is there a neighborhood that you feel should have been added to this list? Put it in the comments below. By the way, my name is Daniel Rangel. I'm a real estate agent in Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor.